Hey everybody, happy Thursday! Today is Marvel Civil War Day, Captain America. We're going to the movie theater to see it. The sun is right in my face. The screen is blocking the sun. So here's the thing. Lots of people went to go see this movie already. There's tons of reviews already all over YouTube and the web, and all I've heard is how high the movie is scored. I have not looked at a single review or a plot line or anything else. I've seen the one trailer where Spider-Man made a cameo appearance. I am a big fan of comics, as longtime viewers know. I also know that this does not follow the comic storyline to a T, so I'm very interested in seeing how this movie is, because I was very much really not looking forward to it, especially since, like, you know, 80% of the Marvel Universe is not in the movie. Should I see Civil War or Civil War? So we saw this movie.
Yes, we did.
It's called Civil War. It's a movie.
It's a long movie.
It's a very, very long movie.
Yes.
But we went to go see it. We'll talk about it a little bit. Promise.
Yep.
I think first we're going to get something to eat. Then we're going to talk. Maybe we'll talk while we're eating. She can't hear what I'm saying. Right, honey?
What?
Hey, we're back home. Before we get into talking about the movie, I got this ridiculous metal popcorn tin. They had 3 different ones to choose from. This one was the one with all of the characters. It'll sit in a pile of other sort of junk that has no home, but right now I like this bucket and this fancy dancy cup with the movie poster art and a little Captain America on top. What? And Jesse's cup has Bucky, the Winter Soldier. Ooh, focus, or don't. Alright, we're back home. We're going to talk about Captain America Civil War for a couple of minutes, hopefully not too long, because then folks say we talk too long. But I make note of the fact that I said Captain America Civil War, because I think folks are losing sight of the fact that this is a Captain America movie. More so, this is not titled Avengers Civil War. There's Avengers in the movie, but this is a Captain America driven storyline. So with that said, Jesse, what did you think?
It was good.
So what do you think out of 5?
4.5.
Okay.
Wow.
And the Mary scale?
3.75.
3.75.
Yeah.
I give this movie, I guess, like a 4 out of 5. So maybe that, what is that, 4.5, 3 3/4, and 4. Somewhere in like a 4 range, almost.
Yeah.
A little bit less than a 4. A little bit more than a 4, almost 4. What do you give it, Eddie?
Oh.
0, because you didn't go to the movies. What did you like about the movie?
There's pretty people.
Yeah?
Pretty people.
The Winter Soldier Jesse likes a lot.
Yeah.
Who else is pretty?
The Winter Soldier.
Any storyline stuff that you liked?
I like the Russians.
All of the bad guy Russians, or
The
Scarlet Witch?
concept.
Huh?
This concept.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fighting in, like, Russia. What'd you like?
I just love the fact that they have the Civil War in between the Avengers, because the last movie everybody like argued with each other too, so it kind of kept it going.
Yep. Yeah. The seeds were planted for kind of Tony Stark against Steve Rogers in the last movie.
Yep.
Why does he have such a generic name?
Steve Rogers?
Yeah.
Because
Like, who wants to be named?
Because it's
He's the
all
all-American
It's
guy.
an all-American name from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But why would you want to be named Steve Rogers?
We'll go back in time and talk to the writers of Captain America.
And plus, everybody back then had normal, everyday names. You know. It's just one of those things.
Don't yell at me.
I don't know, just yelling at everybody. Just, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie is really long. So it's, it's like 2.5 hours plus. This was one of those times that I think, I'm pretty sure like everybody in the movie theater except for Mary actually got up to go use the bathroom for a minute. So Mary was the only one that was able to exercise use of her bladder. With that being said, there's a lot of time in this movie. So here, let me back up and just say this. So I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet. There's a lot of people that complained about Batman versus Superman because of the long build-up and dry scenes and a lot of dialogue-driven movie. This is another dialogue-driven movie for the most part. There's some really excellent battle scenes. So I think where this movie succeeds, where Batman versus Superman didn't, is that there's spaced out battle scenes throughout the movie. So the pacing is a little bit different. There's a little bit more humor in this movie than Batman versus Superman, if humor is what you're looking for. As far as comic storyline and staying to how the Civil War comic is, continuity between comic world and Marvel Studios world is, they're on two different tracks at this point. So
If you're not a comic book fan, it doesn't really matter.
yeah, if you're not a comic book fan, like Mary and Jesse, I think they really enjoyed it. For comic fans, I think, this gets into the area of like why I dislike a lot of the X-Men movies, because they were so far off the track.
It's like
Jesse's trying to keep her eyes open while I'm talking. I enjoyed the movie. I think that it was very, very similar to Batman versus Superman. And without giving any spoilers away, because I'm not giving spoilers here.
Spoiler, he dies.
No.
yeah, really.
There are major complaints about Batman versus Superman being that it's a long, drawn-out movie. This is also a long, drawn-out movie. It's very plot-driven, the same as Batman versus Superman was plot-driven. In the end,
you don't know about the whole entire situation until the end of the movie.
Yeah, so in the trailers, I think the worst kept secret, obviously they revealed in the trailers so that people would know, and kind of emphasize the fact that Marvel Studios had this major coup in getting Spider-Man to come back to Marvel Studios.
Not even right.
And so Jessie was upset because it's not Andrew Garfield, because she likes Andrew Garfield. But they went with a younger Spider-Man.
That doesn't even look nice.
But he fits.
So, I enjoy Spider-Man. Longtime viewers of this channel know that Spider-Man is my favorite hero of all time. So, it's a pleasure to see Spider-Man in this movie, but they don't necessarily start with, a Spider-Man #1 type of, thing, because I think people are tired. We saw Tobey Maguire, we saw Andrew Garfield, we saw, the story over and over again. So, we are kind of months into him having his abilities, and for as much as people complained about Batman versus Superman with characters kind of feeling like they're shoehorned in or trying to accomplish too much, I had the same exact feeling here. Or it was one of those moments when I saw the Spider-Man arc where all of a sudden we go on a detour for 15 minutes into Spider-Man land and then come back to Civil War, and to me that was really shoehorned, more so than Batman versus Superman, where we kind of go through, hey, we found the disc and here's all of these characters that also exist out there.
Yeah.
I think the same complaint holds here. I did like the Spider-Man appearance and his work in the movie, although if the point of the movie is that heroes need to be registered or become part of a registry, it's kind of funny that Tony Stark knows about Spider-Man as far as being a hero, or maybe that there's other heroes out there, but we didn't care about those guys signing a doctrine to register. We only cared about like the 10 people that are in this movie. So stuff like that kind of bugs me.
There's 12.
12. There's 12 guys. That's how many guys they could fit on the screen. I think you may have heard me say this in like other commentary. Like, in video games, as systems have progressed, you used to be able to have like maybe 4 guys on the screen at one time, then like 6 guys. Now, like PlayStation, you may be able to have like 8 guys or something, depending on graphic capabilities. Like all of a sudden, like all of the heroes that exist in Marvel Universe, we can only put 12 guys on the screen at one
But
time.
they're 6 and 6.
Yeah, 6 against 6. So the fight scenes are
Pretty cool.
they're cool. It's cool eye candy. It's kind of like watching. I kind of feel like it's watching a lot of the same old. It's like watching a video game type of fight scene. Some of the interactions were really cool. I can't say much without giving away spoilers, and I don't want to do that for folks.
Spoiler!
It's really cool. It's really awkward in that there's some key Avengers that are not in this movie, and it's not explained where they are in this movie.
They're just not around.
They just kind
on
of
vacation.
They just tell you that they're not there.
I only got 2 people.
Yeah, a couple of Avengers. So, and those guys would be explained in the movies that are forthcoming and what's going on with them. But I guess timeline-wise, they didn't want to tell you where they're at. It's a lot to keep track of.
None of your business.
So, and then the only other knock that I really have, I mean, for comic fans, you realize like when you're watching this and you kind of have battle lines drawn, and you can get this from the folks that are on the movie poster, like where people are lining up. You have one person on either team that can literally decimate the entire team, that they're on. But for some reason, of course, for the sake of the movie-going audience, everybody else needs to fight, each other. So they do at least deliver the goods so that the other lesser powerful characters continue to fight. But realistically, it takes one person from either side to just destroy everybody else from the other team. So
On a side note,
Either or either?
Either. I think it's either.
on a side note, Scarlett Johansson is a badass.
Yeah. I don't like. There's been knocks about Marvel movies about female characters not being strong.
Oh my goodness.
But there's, I
But
think
she's
that,
been in other movies before. It doesn't matter.
yeah, I think that there's, the female characters hold their own in this movie. I think, there's,
Well, not necessarily.
yeah,
Yeah, they do.
'Cause I don't want to give a blooper, so.
a blooper.
A blooper?
We're gonna give away bloopers next too.
No.
We're gonna walk in the wall. Jesse's exhausted, by the way.
Yeah.
So we dragged Jesse to 2.5 hours after a full day of school,
And
tests,
Yeah.
and then volleyball for hours,
For
and
2 hours plus
Yeah.
a scrimmage.
so so overall, I enjoyed the movie a lot.
Oh yeah. And the theater wasn't crowded, so it was nice.
Yeah,
If
our
you don't
theater
like
wasn't
the movies,
crowded.
You suck.
Yeah, if you don't like the movie, you suck. So I didn't not like the movie. I just, I wasn't totally in love with it. I will say this. I mean, after, because this is coming after Age of Ultron, a couple thoughts here. One is, for Age of Ultron, I know that Joss Whedon really wanted to have more time
Who's that?
for the movie, the director, to be able to tell a more complete story. And, got shortchanged, I think, a bit. And this movie, it ran a long time, like 2 hours, almost like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So there was a lot of time to tell the story here.
Whedon is like, wee woo, wee woo, wee
So
She's tired.
that's that piece. But Age of Ultron was absolutely miserable failure, I think, on my viewership compared to watching this movie. So if you were not happy with Age of Ultron, you will most certainly be happy with this movie. Of note, there's 2 cut scenes at the end. So there's one after the immediate credits that roll that
And one
are
after,
just like
like,
the
10
starring, and then
minutes.
if you watch all of the credits to the end,
It's like 10 minutes.
there's yeah, it is about
There's
10
a
minutes
little
worth of
snippet
credits.
after
There's
that.
another snippet.
Dad, we got the finish at 10:32, and then your
It's
watch said it was
10:45.
10:49.
Yeah.
And the other one wrong.
So it takes a while. But neither of those, what I thought was interesting, neither of those cutscenes tie the future storyline together for the Marvel Universe, because we're still,
They're just
obviously,
having fun, man.
we're rocketing towards Infinity Gauntlet, And with Thanos, you know, the stuff that's been, you know, tied together through like the first 2 series of Marvel movies.
Daddy has the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
but
it's a cool thing to get.
there's no tie to Thanos in either of those cutscenes, which is really odd. I think because we're coming up on the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie next year, and you know, maybe there'll be some more tie-ins with Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse's giving me the signal. So
I like. Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
know.
the hook.
Thor.
So there's that.
No,
anyway,
Dad, it's a hand coming out of Mom's head. Look.
I have a hand growing out of my head.
Handhead. So, anyway, that was Civil War. No matter what we say, there's going to be millions and millions of people going to see it.
Tell us your opinions.
Yeah, if you go to see it, let us know what you think. I think that, you know, 4 is a more than fair rating. And, you know, I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
So, that way I can skip through, like, all of the stuff that you're just like, oh, God. So,
Talk.
It's all Vogue now. Your Vogue is no. So, anyway, one last note before we sign off. We uploaded a video, the one that immediately precedes this, where we celebrated May the 4th at Hollywood Studios. And at the end of the video, we tell you how you can win a Sphero BB-8.
Really?
Oh.
You need to go check out that video
I didn't
so
watch
that you
it.
can follow the instructions, leave a comment on that video. 1 comment per person. And
If you spam, you won't be counted.
yeah, so leave a comment on that video, and we'll be doing a drawing on May 13th. So head back to that video
Hey,
and check
that's
it out.
Friday the 13th.
It is.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ah. Oh. So for now, we're going to sign off. So thank you for. I'm waiting. Look at
Oh, God, I'm
Jesse's
sitting
chomping
here,
at. Jesse's chomping at the bit. Look at her face. She's like, I'm waiting. Like, you know, it's like slow motion. Thank you for all of your likes.
I'm ignoring all of that.
Thank you for your comments.
No, I want to do it.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you for your subscriptions.
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Have a great night.
Adios, muchachos.
See you guys.
Yo, when it comes to my bros from the view from the cheap seats, there's only one thing to say. We don't get hyped. We stay hyped, baby!